Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. On the faraway planet Zorith, where mountains touched the stars and rivers glowed with strange light, a giant sat alone. Her name was Kalia, a Theron, 15 feet tall with skin like cracked stone. She perched on a cliff, her huge legs dangling over the edge. Below, tiny human ships landed in the valley, their metal bodies shining under Zorith's two suns. Kalia's deep eyes watched them, sad and heavy. She was too big, too different. No one wanted her, not her kind, not the humans. The wind howled, carrying dust across the cliff. Kalia hugged her knees, her massive arms shaking. "I'm ugly," she whispered to herself. "Too weak for Therons, too scary for humans." Her voice rumbled like thunder, but no one heard. Therons, her people, lived by strength. They fought to prove their worth, their mating rituals brutal and fierce. Kalia hated fighting. She was strong enough to crush rocks, but her heart was soft. Her tribe mocked her, calling her useless. "No mate will choose you," they growled. So, she stayed alone, far from their caves. Humans came to Zorith a year ago, tiny creatures with soft skin and loud machines. They dug for crystals, shiny stones that powered their ships. To them, Kalia was a monster. They screamed when she walked near, pointing their metal sticks that shot fire. She learned to hide, watching them from cliffs like this one. Her heart ached. She wanted a friend, someone to see her, not her size. But who would care for a giant like her? A sound broke her thoughts. "Kalia," a voice called from below. It was small but clear, not scared. Her breath stopped. No one called her name like that, soft and kind. She leaned forward, her long hair falling like ropes. A human stood at the cliff's base, looking up. He was tiny, barely reaching her knee, with dark hair and a dusty jacket. His eyes met hers, steady and warm. Kalia's heart raced. Why wasn't he running? What did he want? She pulled back, her stone skin scraping the rock. "Go away," she shouted, her voice shaking the ground. The human didn't move. He climbed the cliff, his small hands grabbing rough edges. Kalia froze, watching him struggle but keep going. He was brave or foolish. Her hands twitched, wanting to help, but she stayed still. If she touched him, he might scream. Humans always did. He reached the top, breathing hard. Up close, he was even smaller, his head level with her sitting thigh. "I'm Jace," he said, smiling. "I've seen you here before." Kalia blinked, her eyes wide like moons. Seen her? Most humans looked away. She hugged herself tighter, hiding her rough skin. "I'm too big," she said, her voice low. "I'm not breeding material, human. Leave me alone." Jace didn't laugh or run. He sat on the cliff, legs crossed, like he belonged there. "You're not too big," he said. "You're Kalia." Her name sounded different in his voice, like it mattered. She stared, her heart thumping. No one talked to her like this. Was he tricking her? Humans wanted crystals, not friends. But his eyes were kind, not greedy. He pulled a small box from his jacket and opened it. Inside was a round, red thing, a human fruit. "It's sweet," he said, holding it up. "Try it." Kalia hesitated. Her hand could crush him and the fruit together. Slowly, she reached out, her fingers shaking. She took the fruit, careful not to touch him. It was tiny in her palm, soft and strange. She sniffed it, then bit. Sweet juice filled her mouth, new and warm. Her eyes widened. Jace grinned. "Good, right?" For a moment, Kalia forgot her sadness. She forgot the humans who feared her, the Therons who mocked her. But then, a roar echoed from the valley. Deep and angry, it was a Theron warrior's cry. Kalia's smile faded. She stood, her shadow covering Jace. "They're mad," she said, her voice tight. "Humans aren't allowed near me." Jace looked at the valley, where Theron shapes moved in the dust. His face was calm, but his hand grabbed hers. His tiny fingers felt warm on her stone skin. "We need to hide," he said. Kalia's heart pounded. Hide? With a human? If Therans found them, they'd kill Jace. If humans saw, they'd call her a monster. But Jace's hand stayed in hers, fearless. She didn't pull away. The roars grew louder, closer. Jace tugged her toward a cave in the cliff. "Come on," he whispered. Kalia followed, her huge steps shaking the ground. As they vanished into the dark, the valley roared again, full of anger and danger. Kalia crouched in the dark cave, her massive body filling most of the space. Her stone-like skin scraped the walls as she tried to stay still. Jace stood close, his small human frame barely visible in the shadows. Outside, the roars of Theran warriors echoed through Zoratha's valley. "They'll kill you," Kalia whispered, her deep voice shaking. "Humans shouldn't be near me." Jace looked up, his eyes steady. "I'm not leaving," he said, his voice firm despite his size. The cave was cold, but Kalia's heart felt warm. No one had ever stayed for her. Theron saw her as weak, too soft for their brutal ways. Humans ran from her, calling her a monster. But Jace was different. He sat on a rock, unafraid, his tiny hands resting on his knees. "I'm a scientist," he said. "I study Zoratha's crystals, not mine them. I don't care about their rules." Kalia tilted her head, her long hair brushing the cave floor. "A scientist?" She didn't know that word, but his voice was honest. She remembered the day she met him. A rockslide had trapped Jace near the valley weeks ago. Kalia heard his cries and pulled him free, her huge hands gentle. She thought he'd scream, but he thanked her instead. Since then, he came to her cliff, bringing human food and stories. He told her about Earth, a planet with blue skies and soft grass. Kalia listened, her heart hungry for his words. "Why do you come back?" she asked now, her voice low. "I'm too big, human. We're too different." Jace smiled, his teeth white in the dark. "Different is good," he said. He reached out, his small hand touching her finger. It was warm, like the fruit he gave her before. Kalia's breath caught. No one touched her like that, soft and kind. Her skin was rough, hard as stone, but Jace didn't flinch. "You're strong, Kalia," he said. "Not just your body. Your heart." Her eyes stung. She wanted to believe him, but fear held her back. What if he left? What if this was a trick? A memory flashed in her mind, Jace giving her a shiny stone last week. "It's a crystal," he said. "Like the ones we study." She kept it in her pouch, touching it when she felt alone. Now, she pulled it out, holding it in her palm. It glowed faintly, lighting the cave. Jace's eyes widened. "You kept it," he said, his voice soft. Kalia nodded, shy. "It's pretty," she mumbled. For a moment, the roars outside felt far away. But the peace didn't last. A growl came from the cave's mouth, deep and angry. Kalia's head snapped up. "Theran scouts," she whispered. She pushed Jace behind her, her body a wall between him and the danger. Her heart pounded. If they found him, they'd crush him. Jace grabbed her arm, his small hand tight. "Stay quiet," he said. Kalia nodded, but her hands shook. She wasn't a fighter, not like her tribe. Footsteps crunched outside. Kalia held her breath, her eyes locked on the cave's entrance. A shadow moved, tall and wide, a Theran. Its claws scraped the rock, sniffing the air. Kalia's mind raced. She could fight, but she might hurt Jace. She could run, but where? Zorath was her home, but it felt like a trap. Jace's hand squeezed hers, calming her. "We'll be okay," he whispered. His trust made her chest ache. Then, a new sound broke the silence, a human shout. "Over here," a voice yelled from the valley. Kalia's heart sank. A human miner stood outside, pointing at the cave. His face was red, angry. "That monster's with a human," he screamed. The Theran scout roared, its eyes glowing in the dark. More roars answered, closer now. The ground shook as Theron warriors ran toward the cave. Kalia stood, her head brushing the cave ceiling. Stay back, she growled at Jace, her voice fierce. She didn't want to fight, but she wouldn't let them hurt him. Jace shook his head, stepping beside her. We face this together, he said. The cave trembled as the Therons closed in. Kalia's fists clenched, her crystal glowing brighter in her hand. The miners shouted again, calling for more humans. Danger was everywhere, Therons outside, humans below. The scout lunged toward the cave, its claws raised. Kalia roared, ready to protect Jace. The walls shook, dust falling. Kalia's roar echoed through the cave as she faced the Theron scout. Her massive body blocked the entrance, shielding Jace. The scout's claws gleamed, but Kalia didn't move. Her heart pounded, not with fear, but with something new. Protecting Jace felt right. Jace stood behind her, his small hand on her leg. Kalia, be careful, he whispered. Outside, the human miners' shouts grew louder, calling for more men. The ground shook as Theron warriors closed in. Danger trapped them from all sides. Kalia grabbed Jace, her huge hand gentle but firm. We run, she said, her voice low. She ducked out of the cave, her head brushing the rocky ceiling. The scout lunged, but Kalia was faster. She swung her arm, knocking it back. The Theron crashed into the wall, growling. Jace clung to her, his arms around her finger. Go, he shouted. Kalia sprinted into Zoratha's dark forest, her long legs crashing through blowing vines. Trees bent under her weight, their leaves sparkling like stars. The forest was alive with sounds, Theron roars, human yells, and the hum of machines. Kalia's breath was heavy, but she didn't stop. You should run, Jace, she said, her voice shaking. I'm trouble. Jace's grip tightened. I'm staying, he said. Because I love you. Kalia's steps faltered. Love? Her heart felt like it would burst. No one had ever said that to her. Therons didn't love, they fought. Humans feared her. But Jace's voice was soft, true. She slowed, hiding behind a massive tree. Its glowing bark lit their faces. Kalia set Jace down, her eyes wide. You love me, she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Jace nodded, stepping closer. I see you, Kalia. Not your size. You. He reached up, his tiny hand brushing her knee. Kalia's stone skin felt warm under his touch. She wanted to believe him, but fear clawed at her. My body's too big, she said. We're too different. Jace shook his head, smiling. Different makes us strong. He climbed onto a rock, standing taller to reach her hand. Kalia let him hold her finger, his small grip steady. For the first time, she smiled, her rough face softening. Her heart felt light, like Zoratha's moons floating in the sky. Jace laughed, his eyes bright. That's my Kalia, he said. She blushed, her skin glowing faintly. The forest felt quiet, like it held its breath for them. But peace didn't last. A light flashed through the trees, human machines. Kalia pulled Jace close, her body a shield. They crept deeper into the forest, finding an old human outpost, its metal walls rusted. Inside, it was dark, filled with broken machines. Kalia set Jace down, her eyes scanning the shadows. Safe here, she said. Jace nodded, but his face was serious. He pulled a small device from his jacket, its screen glowing. I've been studying you, he said. Your body, it's special. Kalia frowned. Special? Jace tapped the screen, showing pictures of Zoratha's crystals. Your skin absorbs them, he said. It makes you stronger. Different from other Therons. Kalia touched her arm, feeling its rough surface. She never thought it was special, just ugly. Jace's voice was excited. You're not just strong, Kalia. You're unique. Her chest tightened. Unique. Not weak. Not a monster. Before she could speak, boots stomped outside. Human soldiers burst in, their metal sticks glowing red. "Monster," one shouted, pointing at Kalia. Behind them, Theron warriors roared, their claws scraping the outpost walls. "Kalia, come back," a Theron growled. "You belong to us." Kalia stood tall, her shadow covering Jace. "Leave him alone," she said, her voice like thunder. The soldiers aimed their weapons. Jace stepped forward, his small body in front of hers. "She's not a monster," he shouted. The soldiers hesitated, but one raised his weapon higher. "She's dangerous," he said. Kalia's fists clenched, her body ready to fight. Jace's hand touched her leg, calming her. "We're together," he whispered. The Therans pushed closer, their eyes glowing with anger. The outpost creaked, dust falling from the ceiling. A soldier's finger twitched on his weapon. A red light flashed. A loud bang filled the air. Kalia roared, her heart stopping. The bang echoed in the rusty outpost, and Kalia's roar shook the walls. Her massive body curled over Jace, shielding him from the human soldier's shot. The red laser hit the wall, sparking and crumbling stone. Jace was safe, pressed against her stone-like skin. Kalia's heart raced, her breath heavy. "Jace," she gasped, checking him. His small hands grabbed her arm, his face pale but firm. "I'm okay," he said. But the outpost groaned, its ceiling cracking. Dust fell like rain. "Move!" Kalia shouted, scooping Jace up. She crashed through the back wall, her shoulder smashing metal. Human soldiers yelled, their weapons flashing. Theron warriors roared outside, their claws scraping the ground. Kalia ran, her long legs pounding Zoratha's glowing earth. The outpost collapsed behind them, a cloud of dust rising. Jace clung to her, his voice steady. "Keep going, Kalia." She nodded, her eyes scanning the dark forest for safety. Pain burned in her side, rocks from the collapse had cut her. Her rough skin bled, dark and thick, but she didn't stop. Jace was light in her arms, like a bird. She found a hidden cave, its entrance covered by glowing vines. Inside, it sparkled with Zoratha's crystals, lighting their faces. Kalia set Jace down, her body shaking. She sank to her knees, her hand on her wound. "You're hurt," Jace said, his voice soft. He tore his jacket, pressing cloth to her side. His small hands worked fast, gentle. Kalia watched him, her heart full. He didn't run. He stayed, even when she was trouble. "Why?" she whispered. Jace looked up, his eyes warm. "Because I love you," he said. "And you're worth it." Kalia's throat tightened. She wanted to hold him, but her hands were too big, too rough. Instead, she touched his shoulder, careful. "You're crazy, human," she said, smiling weakly. Jace laughed, tying the cloth tight. "Maybe," he said. The cave was quiet, but danger felt close. Jace pulled his glowing device from his pocket. "I need to tell you something," he said, his face serious. "Your body, it's not just strong. It can do something special." Kalia frowned, her hair brushing the cave floor. "What?" Jace tapped the screen, showing pictures of Therans and humans. "Your skin takes in crystals," he said. "It changes you. I think you could carry a child. A human Theran child." Kalia's eyes widened. "A child?" Her voice shook. Therans mated through strength, not love. She was too weak for their ways, too big for humans. "Me?" "A mother?" she asked, her hand on her chest. Jace nodded, excited. "It's never happened before, but you're different, Kalia. You're a miracle." Her heart pounded. A child. A family. She looked at Jace, his small face full of hope. Could it be true? But fear crept in. "Our love, it's dangerous," she said. "They'll kill us." Jace took her finger, his grip strong. "We'll find a way," he said. He leaned close, his hand on her cheek. Her stone skin felt soft under his touch. Kalia closed her eyes, her heart warm. For a moment, the cave felt safe, like a home. Then, something stirred inside her, a strange flutter. She gasped, her hand on her belly. Jace frowned. What's wrong? Kalia shook her head, unsure. Something new, she whispered. Her skin glowed faintly, like the crystals around them. A loud hum broke the silence. Lights flashed outside, human drones, their red eyes scanning the forest. Kalia pulled Jace behind a crystal, her body a shield. They found us, she whispered. A deep voice roared from the cave's mouth. Kalia. It was a Theron elder, tall and fierce. You betrayed us. Come back, or die. His claws gleamed, his eyes angry. Jace stood, his small body next to hers. She's not going, he said, fearless. The drones buzzed closer, their lights blinding. The elder stepped into the cave, his shadow huge. Kalia's fists clenched, her glow brighter. The flutter in her belly grew, like a spark. She didn't know what it meant, but it gave her strength. Stay back, she growled, standing tall. Jace held her hand, ready to fight. The cave shook, crystals humming louder. The elder raised his claw. The drones aimed. Danger closed in, and Kalia's heart raced. The crystal cave trembled as the Theron elder's claw gleamed in the glowing light. Human drones buzzed at the entrance, their red beams locked on Kalia. Her massive body stood firm, shielding Jace. Her skin glowed brighter, the strange flutter in her belly giving her strength. Stay back, she roared, her voice shaking the walls. Jace held her hand, his small fingers tight. We're together, he said, fearless despite the danger. The elder growled, stepping closer. You shame us, Kalia, he snarled. Come, or die. The drones whirred, a soldier's voice crackling through them. Surrender the monster. Kalia's fists clenched, her heart racing. She felt the crystals in her skin hum, making her stronger. She wasn't weak anymore. She wasn't alone. Jace's love changed her. But the cave shook harder, cracks splitting the ceiling. It wouldn't hold. Kalia moved fast. She grabbed Jace and charged, her shoulder smashing the elder aside. He crashed into the wall, stunned. She leaped over the drones, their beams missing her. The cave collapsed behind them, burying the elder in rubble. Kalia ran through Zoratha's forest, her long legs pounding. Jace clung to her, his face grim. You're bleeding, he said, seeing her wounds. Kalia shook her head. No time, she panted. Pain burned, but she wouldn't stop. They reached a wide valley, Zoratha's two suns rising. Kalia set Jace down, her breath heavy. Her side bled, her body weak, but the flutter in her belly was strong. She touched it, eyes wide. Jace, she whispered. I feel it. The child. Jace's face lit up. Our child, he said, his hand on hers. Kalia nodded, tears in her eyes. A human Theron baby, a miracle. But danger wasn't gone. A loud hum filled the air. A human ship landed, soldiers pouring out. Theron warriors emerged from the trees, led by a new elder. Kalia stood tall, Jace beside her. No more running, she said. The human commander, a tall man with a hard face, raised his weapon. Step away, scientist, he ordered Jace. She's a threat. The Theron elder growled, Kalia belongs to us. Kalia's glow pulsed, her voice steady. I belong to me, she said. And to him. Jace stepped forward, his small body fearless. She's family, he said. Hurt her, and you lose everything. The commander frowned, his eyes on Kalia's glow. He saw her hand on her belly, her strength. The Theron elder tilted his head, sniffing the air. A child, he asked, his voice soft. Kalia nodded, proud. My child, she said. The elder's eyes widened. Theron's valued strength, and Kalia's miracle was power. The commander lowered his weapon, unsure. A hybrid, he muttered. It could change everything. Jace spoke fast. Let us go, he said. We'll leave Zorath. No trouble. The Theron elder looked at Kalia, his face calm. You are strong, he said. Go. The warriors stepped back, their claws down. The commander hesitated, then waved his men away. Get out, he said. Before I change my mind. Kalia and Jace ran to a small human ship hidden in the valley. Jace climbed in, his hands on the controls. Kalia squeezed inside, her body barely fitting. The ship hummed, lifting off. Zoratha's glowing land faded below, its crystals sparkling. Kalia held Jace's hand, her heart full. Where now? She asked. Jace smiled. A new planet, he said. One for hybrids. For us. Kalia nodded, her glow soft. For our family, she whispered. As the ship flew into the stars, Kalia felt the flutter again, stronger. She smiled, her rough face soft. I was too big, she thought. Too different. But he loved me, and gave me a child. Jace leaned close, his head on her arm. The ship's hum was steady, like a heartbeat. They were safe, together. But then, a faint sound came from the controls, a soft beep. Jace frowned, checking the screen. A signal, he said. From Zoratha's crystals. Kalia's eyes widened. The flutter in her belly pulsed, matching the beep. Our child, she whispered. It's more than we know. Jace took her hand, his face calm. We'll find out, he said. The ship flew on, stars stretching endless before them. A new life waited, but something powerful stirred within Kalia. What would their child become?